Hello, Azza here. Next poll is about to go live, so I'm here once again asking you to check out this very short insert final runtime video to see a bit of what we could be playing. The theme this time is Cosy JRPGs, and I've got 3 of my favorite ones I'd like to revisit on stream. So first up, Breath of Fire 3. This game came westward in '98, and it was one of the first JRPGs I ever played, and as such, it introduced me to the typical JRPG formula at the time. A colourful cast of characters set in a fantasy world where the protag is a member of an ancient dragon race called the Brood. The adventure spans the world trying to understand his origins, as well as uncovering what happened to the rest of the dragonkind. As with every entry in this poll, I love the characters, the graphics, music, story, etc. So when I was researching tidbits for this video, I was surprised to learn that the jazz-inspired soundtrack was widely criticized as being inappropriate to the atmosphere, which seems bananas to me because I love the soundtrack in this game. Like, check out some of these examples. I don't know, could be nostalgia, but I still think the soundtrack holds up really well in this game. And finally, I wanted to have a look at some of the sprites from the game. Since I was showing off very early footage, some of the sprites in this game are absolutely excellent. I don't know whether or not I'd prefer them over Breath of Fire 4, but it is a very different art style. Some of the enemy stuff is amazing. Like, look at this fella. Look at him. Look at these eggs. You fight these eggs. You know what happens when you hit them? When you hit him, this happens. How good is that? Alright, next up, probably the most famous of the trio, Final Fantasy X. 4 years after Breath of Fire 3 on PS1, we got Final Fantasy X on the PS2. Again, the same spiel of amazing characters, graphics, music, etc. This was a huge deal to me during one summer vacation, borrowing the disc of my buddy Stumpen and jumping into the world of Spira and everything it has to offer. All you need to know is that Blitzball fucking rules, and they somehow wrapped a great RPG around it. The side content for Blitzball, called Final Fantasy X, does have a few memorable features for me. I love the turn-based combat, and like that handy graphical timeline thingy on the right there showing the turn order, the ability to switch characters, how they look, the awesome summons, and the beautifully presented skill tree that they call Sphere Grid. And the music is absolutely incredible. Main composer Uematsu would go on to work on the final game on this poll.
We've heard there were almost no survivors after the meteor crashed on the Highlands. And yet, you appear to be unharmed. How did you survive?
I don't know. What is the cost of my immortality? Lifetimes of battle. Lifetimes of bloodshed. Lifetimes of pain. I've survived here for 1,000 years, but I can recall none of it.
Last game on the poll is Lost Odyssey. I love this game. In so many ways, this is a Final Fantasy in everything but name, edited by the creator of the FF series Sakaguchi along with the composer Uematsu. Again, characters, graphics, music, story, etc. all top notch. The story and the way it's presented in Lost Odyssey is the real standout to me. You follow an immortal dude called Kime, who's somewhere in his mid, 1200s or something, as he quests to regain his lost memories and band together with a very diverse cast of memorable characters. How they portray immortality in this world, in this game, is a huge part of why I love it so much. Through relationships with the characters and these beautifully written backstories called 1,000 Years of Dreams. You get a very rich, beautiful, often melancholy look at the toll 1,000 years can take on someone. Alright, that about wraps it up. The poll will be going live very soon. These games are pretty lengthy, so they'll start off as a focused turned weekly affair when other games roll in, and we have until we wrap up Cyberpunk 2077 anyway. Alright, thanks, see ya!